Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise and remain standing for the processional as we receive the graduating class of 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 176th commencement of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. As we convene this commencement, please remain standing for the posting of the colors by our Army ROTC Color Guard cadets. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Permission to post the colors.
Post the colors. Please be seated. It is my honor to introduce our university's interim president, Dr. Jan Paszynski. Dr. Paszynski assumed this role in May of 2017 when former President Heather Wilson was confirmed by the United States Senate as the 24th Secretary of the Air Force. Dr. Paszynski is not new to the university. For more than 26 years, Dr. P, as his students fondly call him, has been educating undergraduate and graduate students as a professor of chemical engineering. In 2014, he was named the Vice President for Research. During his tenure in Rapid City, he has established a national and international reputation in materials research and has received several multi-million-dollar research awards. Prior to his time at the School of Mines, Dr. Paszynski worked as a research professor at the State University of New York in Buffalo. His undergraduate and master's degrees are from the Technical University in Wrocław, Poland. His PhD was awarded by the Institute of Chemical Technology in Prague. With over 40 years of teaching experience, Dr. P has published extensively and is co-author of several patents. He has received numerous honors, including Outstanding Professor in 2000 and being named in 2010 as an AICHE Fellow, the highest level of membership in the American Institute of Chemical Engineering. Dr. Paszynski, thank you for your service as interim president. You have been an inspiration and guiding force for all of us. Thank you also to you and to Margaret for attending so many events representing SD Mines these past 8 months. Jan, we look forward to your continued contributions as the Vice President for Research upon the arrival of incoming President James Rankin in January. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in thanking Dr. Paszynski and welcoming him to the podium.
Good morning. Thank you, all of you, for joining us on this special day. Today we celebrate the educational achievements of 1 associate, 127 baccalaureates, 48 masters, and 12 doctoral students. This is a very special day for all of you, and you deserve to be bursting with pride. There are no easy degrees at Mines, as former President Dr. Wilson was always saying, and I agree with this. It took a lot of hard work for this man and woman to make it to this milestone. Most of them did not do it alone. Thank you to the families and friends of our graduates. It is with your continuing support and encouragement that they are able to be successful. We are blessed to live in the nation that values education. Exceptional education is expensive, and every hard-earned dollar you spend on tuition was matched by 2 hard-earned dollars from taxpayer, alumni, and companies who help make it possible for you to get a great college degree, making South Dakota Mines one of the best returns on investment for a public college education in America. Each year at Commencement, we honor alumni who have distinguished themselves in their professional and their communities. At this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Larry Simonson, a 1969 electrical engineering graduate of the School of Mines and director of our Alumni Association. Dr. Simonson will introduce this year's Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. Please welcome Dr. Simonson.
The Distinguished Alumni Program was started in 1998 to recognize outstanding contributions to engineering and science by SD Mines graduates. I expect that the career accomplishments of today's honorees will inspire the Hard Rocker class of 2017 to also excel in their professional work. With the 5 awards today, the total number of distinguished alumni from the school mines will total 97. This is truly an elite group amongst many elite graduates from a very elite university. It is now my privilege and honor to introduce the 2017 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. One-page biography summaries of today's honorees can be found in the commencement program. I will share a snapshot of their professional achievements and some of their personal reflections, including principles that have guided them during their successful life journeys. Marty Jackley graduated from the School of Mines in 1992 with an electrical engineering degree. After receiving his law degree from the University of South Dakota in 1995, he clerked in Rapid City for the Chief Federal Judge of South Dakota. Marty then joined and became partner in the Rapid City law firm of Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore, where he specialized in representing design professionals and contractors, as well as criminal and business litigation. In 2006, he was unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate as U.S. Attorney for South Dakota. Marty was named the South Dakota Prosecutor of the Year by South Dakota State's Attorneys in 2008. In 2010 and 2014, Marty was elected as South Dakota's Attorney General, a position he holds today. He has served as South Dakota's first president of the National Association of Attorneys Generals and was honored to receive the National Kelly Wyman Outstanding Attorney General Award from his fellow Attorney Generals. When Marty reflects back, his career and much of his life have been defined by his years at Mines and the everlasting friendship and support he receives from classmates, alumni, and faculty. Mines taught Marty that every challenge finds its solution through hard work and a strong will. In fact, while attending Mines, after taking an electrical engineering exam, it became apparent to Marty that he should consider a different profession. Can anyone here identify with that? Marty asked one of the university administrators for a letter of reference to a law school. The administrator told Marty, "Are you sure you want to go to law school? You can do a lot with your electrical engineering degree." Marty's response was, "I am sure." Ever since, he has enjoyed and very much needed Mines support and his engineering tools to research out solutions as U.S. Attorney and Attorney General. Marty, congratulations on being named a 2017 Distinguished Alumni recipient. Jerry Logan graduated from the School of Mines in 1983 with a mining engineering degree. He then served 31 years in the U.S. Navy and served in and commanded several submarines, rising to the rank of captain. He was proud to have been part of teams that earned special commendations. Jerry now leads mountaineering trips in the Olympic and Cascade Mountains and volunteers with Olympic mountain rescue organizations, conducting search and rescue operations throughout the state of Washington. Jerry credits the foundation he received at Tech in making a huge difference in his naval career. First, it gave him the knowledge and tools to gain acceptance into Navy nuclear that is still defined by uncompromising standards of engineering excellence. It was apparent to him that he was in talented company from the first day when he attended Navy Nuclear Power School in Orlando, Florida. The best engineering schools in the country were represented. The Naval Academy, of course, but also MIT, Stanford, Purdue, Rice, the Ivy League schools, Notre Dame, the finest universities in the country, and one guy from South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. He was a little intimidated at first, but quickly learned that he was well equipped with his tech education to be in the company. This one guy from South Dakota School of Mines Technology was a top graduate in that class of 200 students. Over the course of his career in naval service and submarines, his mines education gave him the foundation upon which he based his study and practice of operating naval nuclear propulsion plants, naval engineering, submarine quality assurance, and leadership. Being a hard rocker will always be a part of who Jerry is as a naval officer and as a person. Jerry, congratulations on being a 2017 Distinguished Alumni recipient. Diana Penninger graduated from the School of Mines in 1986 with a chemical engineering degree. She has spent most of her 30-year career in a chemical industry with Celanese Corporation, where she started in a manufacturing plant in Pampa, Texas. Ms. Penninger has had several expatriate assignments in Frankfurt, Germany. She has served as vice president of a $2.3 billion business portfolio where she had worldwide profit and loss responsibility for 4 global businesses with 5 manufacturing plants located around the world. Throughout her career, Ms. Penninger has transformed mid-sized to large, complex global business by simply identifying opportunities that others have not seen and executing using smart business models. After living in 10 years internationally, she is recognized as an authentic, multilingual, forward-thinking leader committed to building a diverse and motivated teams in the face of unprecedented global change. Diana is proud of her South Dakota heritage and the deep Midwestern value that were instilled in her by her grandparents. Diana's father, Charles Elrod, graduated from the School of Mines with a mechanical engineering degree in 1958. Although she left the beautiful Black Hills to live around the world, the kind hearts and deep values of the people of South Dakota have never left her. Her time at Mines reinforced the values of working hard and treating people right. In each phase of her career, she has relied heavily on a strong work ethic, problem-solving skills, and leadership skills. She is pleased to see more women attending and thriving at our distinguished university. Diana feels strongly about the world needing the amazing minds of more women in engineering and science and hopes that recruiting women will remain a high priority at the School of Mines. She has been blessed with a great career in chemical industry, and all of that comes from a great foundation. Diana, congratulations on being named a 2017 Distinguished Alumni Award recipient. Jackie Sargent graduated from the School of Mines in 1989 with an electrical engineering degree. She began her career as a customer service representative intern at Black Hills Corporation before she graduated from the School of Mines. At Black Hills Corporation, Jackie was promoted to coordinator, manager, and director roles in a variety of business units each with increasing responsibilities. In 2010, Ms. Sargent took a position in Austin, Texas as Senior Vice President of Power Supply and Market Operations with Austin Energy. In 2012, she became the General Manager, CEO for Platte River Power Authority, a not-for-profit wholesale generation and transmission provider in Fort Collins, Colorado. Last year, Jackie returned to Austin Energy as its General Manager and CEO. Austin Energy is the 8th largest public utility in the country, with a service territory of approximately 250 square miles, serving nearly 500,000 customers. She is responsible for the annual budget of $1.4 billion, over 1,700 employees, and over 3,500 megawatts of generation capacity consisting of nuclear, coal, natural gas, biomass, and solar. As a single parent, Jackie returned to the school mines to pursue her degree to ensure that she could take care of her 2 young children so that they could have an opportunity to go to college. Amazingly, they both went to and graduated from South Dakota Tech. Erica in civil engineering and Clark in mechanical engineering. Erica works for Bechtel and has global experience. Clark earned a master's degree from the school mines in materials and is now a lawyer working in intellectual property in Washington, D.C. Jackie could not be more proud of her 2 children and her granddaughter, Charlie, who is here with her today. Jackie, congratulations on being named a 2017 Distinguished Alumni recipient. Doug Stahlheim graduated from the School of Mines in 1980 with a metallurgical engineering degree. With 37 years of practical experience, Doug is recognized as one of the top experts in the world in structural and pipeline steel production and metallurgy. You can probably say that Doug was destined. His last name, Stahlheim, means home of steel in Norwegian. Mr. Stahlheim's worldwide clients are located in the United States, Canada, China, Brazil, Taiwan, Thailand, Korea, Turkey, and India. Doug's work has taken him to 30 countries outside of the United States. In each of the past 10 years, Doug has spent between 30 and 40 weeks working abroad. A very rewarding part of Doug's career has been to mentor numerous young engineers around the world and help them better understand the fundamentals of proper and optimized structural steel metallurgy so they can make significant contributions to their companies, countries, and economic regions. Keys to Doug's career success are a willingness to work hard, a willingness to continue to learn, a curiosity to understand, an ability to see what others cannot see, confidence in one's ability, and the patience and fortitude to realize that satisfaction and success in life do not happen overnight. In looking back at his years at the school mines, Doug now realizes that learning how to think, how to problem solve, and not to give up were crucial. Another key life lesson learned during his years at Tech came from beloved Professor Doc Dunn, who famously quoted, "Do not let books get in the way of your college education." Doug took this to heart and became active in a variety of campus activities, including serving as the student body president when he was a senior. One of Doug's mottos is, "Don't sweat the small stuff, it's all small stuff." Doug, congratulations on being named a 2017 Distinguished Alumni Award recipient.
Thank you, Larry. Congratulations to all of you. It is my pleasure to introduce the representative of our senior class, Brenna Mollet, a candidate for a bachelor's degree in applied and computational mathematics from Chanhassen, Minnesota. She is the daughter of the 1989 Rocker Days King Chris and Adra Mollett, who are both South Dakota Mines mechanical engineering alumni. She is the 10th member of her extended family to graduate from Mines. Brenna served as both the president and vice president of the Rotaract Club on campus and as a resident assistant and assistant area coordinator for Residence Life. She served as the financial vice president and new member coordinator for Alpha Delta Pi sorority, an executive team member and Bible study leader for InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. She was also a member of the Hard Rocker cheer team. She presented, her performance was last night. It was the last. Thank you. And she also was a member of Order of Omega Greek Honor Society and Phi Eta Sigma Honor Society. As a freshman, Brenna placed second in the Engineering Make Great Entrepreneurs program, which inspired her to follow her entrepreneurial spirit. She joined a startup team with partner Dustin Johnson and qualified to compete in the final round of the South Dakota Governor Giant Vision Business Plan competition. Brenna served as both a peer mentor for freshmen in the Computer Science and Mathematics department and as a woman in Science and Engineering mentor. In these roles, she helped freshmen make the transition to campus and better adjust to college life. Brenna completed 3 different internships, ranging from networking engineering at SDN Communication in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to information technology and business analytics at Travelers Insurance in St. Paul, Minnesota. After graduation, she will be returning to Travelers Insurance as a member of their Information Technology Leadership Development Program. Please join me in welcoming Brenna Mollett.
Thank you, Dr. Pajinski, for that wonderful introduction. When I found out that the Student Senate had nominated me to be the student commencement speaker, I was surprised and humbled. It's always been a secret goal of mine to speak at a graduation ceremony. But now that I'm up here, wow, there's a lot of people out there. I'm honored to be up here today. On behalf of the graduates, we are so grateful that so many friends, family, faculty, and staff were able to join us throughout our college journeys and attend our graduation. Thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know me, I get excited about many things in life. I love early morning runs, singing along to Spanish music, Culver's Butterburgers, and being cozied up with a cup of coffee and reading a good book. But one of the things I love the most is road trips. In fact, one of my favorite road trips was sophomore year. 3 friends and I decided a week before spring break started that we were going to road trip to California. We drive through Wyoming, Utah, and Nevada, stop at Lake Tahoe, and then continue on to California and stay with my friend Colby's grandparents before touring the area for a couple days. You know, when you think about it, college is a lot like a road trip too. Always a great idea until you're halfway in and realize it's too late to turn around. Sound familiar? And whether you realize it or not, you've been on your own road trip too, your South Dakota Mines road trip. Think of it this way. Freshman year is like the beginning of a road trip. You hop into the loaded car and get down the road a couple hours. You're excited and nervous and you just want to get there, but you're not fully aware of what's ahead of you. Sophomore year arrives and you're a little more aware, but you're in the numb stage of the car ride. You're 6 hours into a 24-hour trip. You've belted out all your favorite songs, and everyone else in the car is probably asleep by now. You acknowledge that you made a dent into the trip, but you've got more time ahead of you than you do under your belt. So what do? You keep driving. And then you reach junior year. Oh boy. Junior year is like driving across the state of Nevada in the middle of the night. It's a long drive through the desert, and you're probably lost. I know I was. Freshman and sophomore year at Mines, you take electives and general classes, or, as they're known at Black Hills State, senior level courses. And then junior year comes, and suddenly, cruise control becomes disabled. Classes are harder, homework assignments are longer, and expectations are higher. And suddenly, it's your responsibility to put gas in the car, polish up your resume, refill the tires, and start thinking about your destination after graduation. The road trip is getting hard and tedious. Fortunately, when you're road tripping, you always find something that keeps you going. On our California road trip, it was a podcast about serial killers that kept all four of us on the edge of our seats and looking back over our shoulders for the rest of the drive. What was it that kept you going? For me, it was my God and my family. What was it for you? Maybe it was your friends, the average graduate salaries, or a passion for your discipline, whether it be calculus, circuits, or concrete. But whatever the case, the drive to move forward is there. Finally, after what seems an eternity, senior year arrives. Senior year is when you're an hour away from your destination, but suddenly the speed limit changes from 80 to 40. You're so close, yet so far. Time passes like molasses, but you're also zipping through all of your last times. Your last time whitewashing M Hill, your last first football game, or your last week of finals. You just want to get to where you're going, but as you get closer, you realize that once you get there, you probably won't be able to sing Taylor Swift at the top of your lungs anymore. At some point, you'll have to get out of the car. Your road trip is over. Now, on this spring break road trip, we were lucky. Our destination was literally Grandma's house. And let me tell you, if life after this college road trip leads to Grandma's house, sign me up. Let's cut this ceremony short and get out of here. We've got home-cooked meals and hugs to get to, people. For many of us, we're just taking a brief rest at the rest stop. Your trips will continue with their share of challenges and joys. Maybe you're joining the workforce. That's like jumping onto a school bus. There are other people on that journey with you. But just like in middle school, you'll probably have to sit in the front and work your way to the back of the bus where the cool kids sit. Maybe you're continuing on to grad school. Buckle up. This undergraduate graduation is just a pit stop for you. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. You're charting your own road trip with nothing but a full tank of gas, a crumpled up road atlas, and a world-class education in science and engineering. But before you hop in the car on your next journey, enjoy where you're at for a second, because it's not always about the destination. My friends and I could have flown round trip to California, but then we would have missed the moon brightly shining over the desert rock formations in Nevada. We would have missed the rolling hills of California. We would have missed the snow-capped mountains surrounding beautiful Lake Tahoe. So you see, without the journey, you miss the details. As you leave Mines, reflect on the memories you've shared, the things you've learned, the people you've met, the things that inspired you, and even the speed bumps you've overcome. And one last thing about a road trip. Once you finish a road trip, there's usually a road trip back. Your life journeys will take you many places, but at some point, don't forget to return to Mines for a visit. Always remember this stretch of your road trip because it represents an opportunity to renew friendships and give back to the institution to keep it strong. Be thankful for the opportunity you had to go on this adventure at South Dakota Mines. As you start your next road trip, it's okay if you don't know where you're going. Getting lost is part of the journey. Fasten your seatbelt, adjust the wheel, and enjoy the ride. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Brianna. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Stephen O'Rourke. Steve is a senior energy executive and entrepreneur who is actively engaged as an advisor and manager of several energy-related business ventures. He is founding partner of Strategic Management Partnership, LLC, and serves as the managing director of Heat Mining, LLC. In July 2016, he was elected to the board of directors for RISPEC, an engineering and IT consulting firm based in Rapid City. Prior to June 2011, Steve was president of Global Petroleum Exploration and BHP Billiton, the world's largest natural resource company and a major global oil and gas operator. He was a member of the senior leadership team and the petroleum executive team responsible for management of the entire petroleum customer segment group. Previous senior roles at BHP Billiton also included Vice President of Development Planning and Vice President of Global Appraisal and Petroleum Engineering. Steve was employed by Shell from 1983 to 2000, with many assignments of increasing responsibilities. Key roles included exploration manager in the Gulf of Mexico, geologic operation manager in Brunei, and senior staff geologist team lead in Shell Offshore. Steve earned a Bachelor of Science degree in geological engineering with highest honors from South Dakota School of Mines in 1983. He is also a graduate of the Wharton Advanced Management Program at the University of Pennsylvania. He serves as a member of the Executive Committee of the South Dakota Mines Foundation Board of Trustees and is a member of the Industrial Advisory Board for the Department of Geology and Geological Engineering. He also serves on the Department of Geology and Environmental Sciences Advisory Board at Wheaton College. The South Dakota School of Mines is honored to recognize Steve's many contributions to our community with the awarding of an honorary degree. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by action of the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon Steve T. O'Rourke the honorary degree, Doctor of Public Service, with all the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the responsibilities thereto appertaining. Steve.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you, and greetings, President Brzezinski, Regent Wink, faculty, distinguished guests, and distinguished alumni, family and friends, but lastly and most importantly today, you, the graduating students. Congratulations to all of you on making it to this day. I'd like to give you a very large round of applause. It is a tremendous honor and privilege for me to be here this morning and having the opportunity to spend a few moments with you. When I walked across this same stage 34 years ago with my lovely wife, Donna, we graduated together, I would have never considered that someday I would be back. But as Brenda says, it's hard to know where your road trip will take you, and mine brought me here. I think that's what a Mines education can do for you. So, in order to set expectations, I've got a confession to make. This is my first commencement speech. You may have figured that out along the way, but I thought I'd just be upfront with you. So when asked to be the speaker, I of course panicked a bit, not having done it before. But having learned over the years that I should do what my wife and daughters tell me, and they're always right, I did what men never do. I asked for directions. So I Googled commencement speeches to see what kind of help I could get. Well, as you know, when you Google something, you get millions of results. And so what I thought was a good idea turned out to be not really very useful. And I quickly found myself overwhelmed with information and examples of the best commencement speeches ever. That was really bad. But eventually I did find some useful tips. Probably the one most useful for you students is that the ideal length of a commencement speech is 12 to 15 minutes. That's where we're going. So I was asked to give my thoughts on what I've learned, what wisdom I could provide to you from my life and career that might be of some benefit as you start out on your grand adventure. Well, that seems a bit daunting. How does one distill 35 years into 15 minutes? But after some sleepless nights wondering what I could possibly say that would be of useful or importance to you, I realized that in many ways, what I've learned has been observed by people in the past and can be summed up in just 3 short, what I will call life lessons. And we will come to those in a moment. But before I address those, I would like to point out to you what I think your experience here at Mines has given you. First, you have received the best education that money can buy. Many different university ranking services tell us that is so, but more importantly for me, after my experience with 2 of the world's largest international companies, that confirms it. As scientists and engineers, you are the best of the best. I know that you have the skills and the abilities to compete with the best in the world. I cannot overemphasize how your life will be affected by your education from Mines. You will have opportunities you will never able to imagine. Also, you have been trained and cared for by world-class faculty who are dedicated to your success. And someday, I hope you will realize that. I say this because I had a personal experience. During my first semester at Mines, I experienced some very difficult family issues that forced me to basically drop out of class. But I didn't bother to officially withdraw because I was such a mess. Well, in the next semester when it came time to enroll, my department head had a choice to make, whether to allow me to return or strictly adhere to school policy and kick me out. Thankfully, that professor decided I was worth giving another chance. And I can say that one decision changed the course of my life, and I will be eternally grateful. I believe that person is here today, but I won't embarrass them by calling them out. You know who you are. But I would like to take this opportunity to publicly thank you for believing in me. You are the perfect example of the kind of faculty that we are blessed with here at Mines. Secondly, you follow a tradition of outstanding alumni, folks who have left here and gone on to have wonderful careers, some in their chosen academic fields, some in completely unrelated ones. You stand on the shoulders of giants. One very recent example, of course, is our new president, Dr. Rankin, an alum in a EE. And there are many, many others, but the point is their success demonstrates that you have been prepared to do big things, as we say here in Rapid City. So congratulations, you have done well by attending Mines. But before you sprain your arm patting yourself on the back, I've got some bad news. Yes, you've learned a lot, but not enough. And what I'm going to tell you today, I think, is much more difficult to master than science and engineering, and for some of you, it will take a lifetime. Certainly that's been the case for me, although I am a slow learner. While I absolutely benefited from my education at Mines, and it formed the basis of whatever technical career I enjoyed, it is not what I believe ultimately enabled me to achieve what I have, both professionally and personally. So rather, I would like to speak to you this morning about the idea that you, not your formal education, not your technical skills, and not much of what you learned here at Mines will determine your relative success or failure in life. Hence, I come back to my 3 life lessons. First, the only thing that is constant in life is change. Second, there is nothing certain in life but death and taxes. And third, there is nothing new under the sun. Yes, that's it, pretty simple. But wait, you say, I've heard these all before. These aren't new. Yes, and I'll save you the trouble of asking Siri where they come from. These are quotes from Heraclitus, Benjamin Franklin, and King Solomon. So certainly these ideas would not be revelations to you. They've been around for centuries and are well used. But they have withstood the test of time and are as relevant today as they were when they were first recorded. And importantly to me, they sum up what I have learned to be true in life. I know, having learned through both success and failure, understanding them is important to your future happiness and success. So I'd like to spend a little time on them. First, the only thing constant in life is change. So here I'm referring to the idea of external change. You are inheriting a world that is evolving technologically at an ever faster pace. It affects virtually every aspect of our lives. That is not new or surprising. Life has always been that way. Heraclitus penned those words in, yes, 500 BC. But as compared to 2,500 years ago, we have today infinitely more things in our lives: technology, information, entertainment, social media, the list goes on, all of which are now accessible instantaneously through multiple devices and apps, so that the change we experience today is almost overwhelming, especially for us baby boomers. So how this is relevant to you is that as scientists and engineers, you will contribute to that change by inventing new technologies and applications. And perhaps as business or government leaders have the opportunity to influence and direct how those changes are used. You, dear students, your role is to make the world a better place than you found it. Who knows what changes you will see during your lifetime? I went from slide rules and computer punch cards to cell phones today more powerful than any computer I probably ever used during my career. So to be successful, you need to continually learn new skills because your existing ones will quickly become obsolete. But the exciting thing is that you will have enormous opportunity to influence our world. Please use it wisely and for good. Secondly, there is nothing certain in life but death and taxes. So here I'm speaking about the idea of personal uncertainty. Not only, of course, will you experience external change in the world, but you will also find that there are no certainties or guarantees in your own life either. Life never goes as planned, or really even how you imagine it might. Most of us end up living a life we could have never predicted. And that, of course, can be for good or bad reasons. Life happens, and much of it we have no control over. But of course, we do have a choice as to how we react to what happens and what life throws at us. So being willing to adapt, to embrace uncertainty, will enable you to be successful and enjoy your life regardless of what happens. I have many examples of change and uncertainty in my life and the choices I made to deal with them. But I want to use an example from my early days at Shell because of the profound impact it had on me and my family's life. It's when my family and I were transferred on an international assignment. It happened because during my first performance review, I was asked if I would consider an overseas posting. Well, I was working in New Orleans at the time, and we had gone there from South Dakota, which was like moving from a foreign country anyway, so we said, why not? We'd already done that. And at the time, my wife and I had no children, and we were up for an adventure. But, of course, we had no idea how slow the wheels of the corporations turn. And so the years passed, no transfer. We had 2 daughters, and were pretty well settled and had our lives planned out, as you do. So, of course, it was at that time we were told we were being transferred. And to Oman in the Middle East, not to Europe, where we had thought since I worked for a Dutch company. So after the initial shock, we got kind of excited, started to prepare, and even began Arabic lessons. But with only a few weeks before we were due to leave, I was told that instead of Oman, we were going to a country called Brunei Darussalam, which neither my wife or I had ever heard of. And of course, not having Google, we had to look it up on a map. Well, after discovering where it was, I have to say we were filled with a lot of anxiety and even some fear. Taking 2 small children to live in the jungles of Borneo in a company camp, not what we had planned for our family. But in the end, we decided to go, and of course, it changed our lives. We are now so grateful that we had the opportunity, and also thankful that we were somehow able to find the courage to accept that uncertainty and adapt with the change. From a professional perspective, our time overseas, and I had a second posting to the Netherlands, was invaluable and really provided the basis for the rest of my career. For our family, that time gave us a wonderful perspective on the world and an appreciation of the tremendous diversity and yet the sameness of people everywhere. So the idea I want to leave you with is that there are no guarantees in life. It's unpredictable, and you'll be faced with many times of uncertainty and difficult choices to make. So to thrive, you must be willing to adapt. And of course, you never know what amazing things may come out of that. Finally, there is nothing new under the sun. So after having just spoken about constant change and uncertainty, the idea that there's nothing new seems contradictory, maybe. But what I'm referring to here is the idea that as people in society, our needs, our wants, our behaviors are the same now as they have been from the beginning of time. It is true that how we do things, the tools we use, etc., will change with the advancement of technology. But what motivates us, what makes us do what we do, and what we need are the same things we share with all people. I think recognizing that will make you much better at understanding yourself and, importantly, others. So how did this matter in my life and career? One of my roles was new business development, where I was ultimately responsible for negotiations with potential partners, government officials, etc. So understanding what their motivations were, what they were looking for to get out of the business relationship, was fundamental to me in being able to reach a successful agreement. Almost always, it was one of the basic human character traits: the need to be liked, to be accepted, to be valued, to be respected, the need maybe to be seen as successful or even to win, and sometimes less desirable traits such as greed or the need for power. In most cases, I found that it was possible, though, to achieve my business goals, not so much through technical capability or clever proposals, but by developing a relationship built on trust and attempting to meet the other person's needs. I'm sure this is not a new concept to you, as you've all had to learn how to deal with people in your life, but I want you to think about it from the perspective of how being intentional about this can help you build better business and personal relationships, and that will enable you to be more successful in what you do. There's another old saying regarding dealing with people, and that being, treat others as you would have them treat you. And to me, this is really about the idea of servant leadership. In other words, putting others before yourself. Any successful leader will tell you that dealing with people, that is managing them, motivating them, and leading them, is the most time-consuming but most important role that they have. And they know that if they don't get it right, their business will suffer. In my career and personal life, this idea was one of the most important and has made the most impact on me. The proof, I think, was when I retired. Almost all of the comments I received from staff and colleagues weren't about what a great geologist I was or successes I'd had as a business leader, but it was about how I had treated them on a personal basis and what that meant to them, how I treated them as people. It was a humbling revelation, something I wished I'd understood long before. I would have done many things differently. So as potential leaders, I want you to realize the importance of this. It will define much of your legacy. So I think our 15 minutes are close to have come and gone, so only a few last things. You will face many challenges in your life, but you start out today with a world-class education and opportunities that most people in the world will never have. Please don't underestimate how fortunate you are to be graduating from Mines. You are part of a very elite population. But this is a heavy responsibility. You have been given much, and now it's your turn to give back to your family, to your friends, and the world. A few things that I believe will help you along the way: engage in lifelong learning. It keeps you fresh and relevant. Be adaptable and flexible. Life is unpredictable. Be willing to take risks, but expect to fail. Be humble, sincere, and always act with integrity. People know. Practice servant leadership by putting others before yourself. Travel, see the world. You will indeed find that people are the same everywhere. And finally, have faith in something or someone. It will sustain you when everything else fails. So in closing, I hope that if nothing else you remember from my talk today, it's my favorite quote, and it's from Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "We must do the things we think we cannot do." These words have helped me many times in my life and career and take on challenges that I did not think I could do. And you will find in your own lives and careers, whether it be dealing with external change, personal uncertainty, or the people that you work and live with, that you too will be faced with many things that you think are impossible. But I assure you that you can do them. And so, leave here today knowing that you have been prepared not only to do big things, but things that you would never imagine. But most importantly, please understand, having said all this, that in the end, it's not what you do, but rather how you do it that you will be remembered. So whatever you do, do it well. And so, to you, my fellow graduates, the class of 2017, I tip my hat to you and congratulate you again on your achievements. May you have many more. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Steve, for inspiring talk. The South Dakota School of Mines and Technology operates under the authority of the South Dakota Board of Regents. This morning, we are pleased that Regent John Wing is with us to represent the board. Please join me in welcoming Regent Wing.
Dr. Pushinsky, Speaker Steve, honorable guests, faculty, staff, and students, we want to thank you for all that you do and who you are. I also want to thank the Board of Regents who appointed me as somewhat of a liaison to Mines, but I like to think of it as that I'm the human connection from the Regents to Mines, and I really appreciate it. I've had a great time here in my months with you. The faculty and staff and students have been wonderful to me, and the students have been fun and kind. I want to give a special shout out to all of the families here. You made it. And we honor your sacrifices. Now soon, your babies will really be leaving you. And we know that you hate it and you love it. Now, if your experiences are anything like ours, those first years after post-graduation, our kids reminded us of boomerangs in that they went out, but then they came back. And then they went out, and then they came back. So do not buy new furniture yet, families. And I promise you they're going to continue to leave their pets with you when they go. Incidentally, I really connect with where you all are. We presently have 3 grandkids in 3 different universities in 3 different states, and their mama's working on another graduate degree in a 4th state. So this new learning, these new ideas, and all of these expenses don't end today. Actually, that's the good news, because they keep going. Now, Dean Mann did a lovely introduction of Dr. Pushinsky for us, but she omitted some important details. First, Dr. Pushinsky, the truth is I have loved knowing you, and I'm so happy that I can finally pronounce your name. As Dr. Pushinsky told me, just say push, and that was very helpful, push. But you have some more letters there, you know that. And so I couldn't spell it, I could say it. But I developed a little trick that really worked. I just visualized the capital letters S-Z-Y. S-Z-Y. Then I can spell your name. And I must tell you, S-Z-Y was not taught to us in grade school in Mobridge when I was a little girl. But that's how I spell your name. Dr. Mann told us about your beautiful contributions, but she did not tell all our family and friends what a kind and gentle human being you are. And we thank you for your boundless humanity. I think you all would also like to know that last week, no matter how busy he was, and 3 of those days last week were over in Sioux Falls with us at the Board of Regents, he came back here, had his president's dinner, and raised $117,000 for student scholarships. She also did not tell all of our families and friends here about your beautiful twinkly eyes. When I first met you, it was the first thing I noticed. And you don't know this, Dr. Pushinsky, but I'm somewhat of an expert in twinkly eyes. And I have developed a theory about them through the years. I am sure that the rare people you meet with twinkly eyes have so much soul deep within them that it just has to come out somewhere. Dr. Pushinsky, it is your loving soul which is shining brightly through your twinkly eyes, and we love you for it. Dr. Pushinsky taught me an important lesson the first time I ever met him. It was last May, and the then President, Heather Wilson, assigned me to this man, whose name I couldn't pronounce, nor could I spell. But Dr. Pushinsky gave me a great tour of the campus, and he introduced me to students and faculty and staff. Later in the week, it was announced that Dr. Wilson would be leaving for a new assignment in DC, and then I realized why I had been assigned to Dr. Pushinsky. Anyway, at the end of that day last May, I had learned a very important lesson. I had not been aware of the incredible research which is taking place here on your campus. I had not been aware of all those huge, amazing machines which are necessary for you to do your research. I'm a language and literacy person, and all of I need to do research is another human being. But what you need, I'm now understanding, is lots of money to buy those big machines, and you need to keep them in safe buildings. It is not good for those expensive machines if the passing trains rattle them, and it's not good for those machines if the temperature in those rooms is not constant, and it's really not good for those expensive machines if they're so big and heavy that they start to sink into the floor. So I will do my best. Graduating students, our speaker Steve had 3 bits of advice for you. I have 2, but I can do it in about 30 seconds. May your road of life be a bright and shiny superhighway. Even though I promise you there are going to be potholes, and we of my generation have cleverly left a few problems strewn around in that highway for you to solve. And I can assure you that in that road of life, there are going to be bumps and twists and turns and detours. And sometimes the road might even be washed out. And when that day happens, and it will, just remember that Steve Jobs, if Steve Jobs had not been fired from Apple initially, before he was hired back, we would never have Pixar to watch on our little iPhones. I started teaching in 1966 in Philadelphia, and I stopped teaching over at BH in 2016. Quick math, guys, 50 years. It's long enough. And when I was teaching, I loved teaching. And much to my surprise, now that I'm not teaching, I love not teaching. Who knew? But when I was in Philadelphia that first year, it was a very upscale high school. And I assure you, I was the only teacher from South Dakota, and I was the only teacher without a grad degree teaching there. And I knew I would never, ever want one of those. In that high school, every wall was made of glass, from floor to ceiling. You could teach in your room, and we could look over classroom after classroom after classroom. And we could see the principal coming a long ways away, and we watched. But I learned one thing at the end of my first year of teaching. Those who teach in glass schools should not throw rocks. And since that year, I've learned something equally important. I believe it's human connections at the heart of all life and learning. So you know those clever little iPhones you have? You're going to have to put them down somewhere and make those human connections. I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Regent. I didn't expect so many kind words. Will the candidates for Bachelor of Science degrees please rise? By virtue of the authorities vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligation and responsibilities thereto pertaining. Please be seated. Dr. Patricia Mann, Vice President for Student Development and Dean of Students, will present the degree candidates.
Good morning. I will read only the names of those degree candidates who are present this morning. Those who were unable to attend, but whose names are listed in the commencement program, will be awarded their diplomas in absentia. We welcome and encourage your applause for each graduate, but we ask you to refrain from using air horns and other noisemakers so that we may preserve decorum and respect for the graduates, their families, and our visitors. As the graduates line up and receive their diplomas, families and guests, please be reminded that you are invited to come to the front to take pictures as the graduates shake hands with the president and march across the stage. Throughout the program, you will see graduates wearing special cords or stoles representing their fraternities, sororities, National Honor Societies. The navy gold and white cords are worn by graduates who have completed the Mines Advantage Professional Development Program. Our 12 military veterans are wearing red, white, and blue cords in recognition of their service. Graduates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Applied Biological Sciences will be congratulated by Dr. Richard Sinden, Head of the Department of Chemistry and Applied Biological Sciences, and Dr. Dimitris Kouros, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Rebecca Lynn Clark, cum laude. Colin Thomas Jones. Madison Lee Larson. Morgan Lynn Schaefer, summa cum laude. Drake O'Brien Strickland. Christopher John Weber, magna cum laude. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Applied and Computational Mathematics will be congratulated by Dr. Kyle Riley, Head of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, and Dr. Kouros. Allison Marie Bodvig. Brian Elliott Glass. Brenna Michelle Mollett, cum laude. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Rob Winter, Head of the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering, and Dr. Kouros. Christopher George Anthony Arnott. Warren Andrew Berg, magna cum laude. Wesley David Doney, magna cum laude. Eric William Fensky, summa cum laude. Asher Martin Fleming. Michael John Harlan. Stephen Nelson Iverson, cum laude. Dustin Dwayne Johnson. Nicholas Scott Johnson. Jabron Mahadik. Lance Taylor Myers. Zachary Isaiah Nix. Hung Pham, magna cum laude. Michaela Christine Reese. Andreas Scow. Jordan John Alexander Weaver, cum laude. Anthony James Videkas, summa cum laude. Candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemistry will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Sinden and Dr. Kouris. Alden E. Ferguson. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Scott Kinner, Head of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and Dr. Kouris. Catherine Ann Kroll, cum laude. Libby Friesen, summa cum laude. Joseph Hemmer, magna cum laude. Melissa Montoya Maarena. Peter Howard Meckling. Lance Frederick Meinhardt. Alexander Grantham Mishke, cum laude. Chloe Olson. Christian Mark Rudebush. Kenneth James Schaffner, cum laude. Courtney Smith. Taylor Thompson. Jessica Ann Tisdale, summa cum laude. Cassidy Joy Trapp. Ryan Dean Van Dyke. Hunter Scott Vincent. Jessica Alice Weinkoff, cum laude. Morgan Maureen Williams. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Magesh Rajan, head of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Dr. Kouris. Charles Randolph Ellis. Christopher William Colgraff. Corey Pryor. Brooke Mackenzie Robinson. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Riley and Dr. Kouris. Allison Marie Bodvig. Brian Elliott Glass. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Rajan and Dr. Kouris. Samuel John Coffin. Brett Joseph Michaels. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geological Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Lori Anderson, head of the Department of Geology and Geological Engineering, and Dr. Kouris. David Cabrera. Eric Hahn. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Anderson and Dr. Kouris. Cody Crater. Andrew Highmark. Julie Elizabeth Manders. Thomas Joseph Stasiak. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering and Engineering Management will be congratulated by Dr. Jeffrey Wallstad, head of the Department of Industrial Engineering, and Dr. Kouris. Saad Abulrahman Olhomayan. Mackenzie Ray Becker. Chris Burks. Caleb Childers. Connor Compton. Kelsey Ann Hibble. Tyler James Cabusta. Jacob Radke. Jane Elizabeth Schmansky. Jamal Andre Taylor. Kara Ann Togel. George Vatikiotis. Jennifer Carol Zize, cum laude. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Sciences will be congratulated by Dr. Allison Gilmore, head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and Dr. Curris. Zachary James Guyman. Lexi Elizabeth Hansen, cum laude. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Pierre La Rochelle, head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and Dr. Curris. Brian Edward Bowden. Andrew J. Chenoweth. Cody Clement. Colin Dakota. Zachary DeYoung, magna cum laude. Garrett DeVries. Jacob Frederick DeWeese. Zachary John Erickson. Tim Falconer. Justin Gelling. Lance Hansen. Charles Hartman III. Mitchell Garrett Hoff, cum laude. Carter James Johnson. Kellen Levi Johnson, cum laude. Jordan Michael Landon, magna cum laude. Carly Ann Matson. Nathan Henry Mosier. Sarah Elizabeth Novicki. Logan Roberts. Tyler Rossi. Silas John Schaefer. Gregory Kenneth Schmidt. Matthew Kelly Seidel. Baru Sharma. Aaron Spees. Shannon Paul Spronk. Cheyenne Eileen Tidrick. Kandem Verink. Robert Wiley, cum laude. Candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Metallurgical Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Michael West, head of the Department of Materials and Metallurgical Engineering, and Dr. Kouras. Daniel Laval Lindberg, magna cum laude. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering will be congratulated by Dr. Lance Roberts, head of the Department of Mining Engineering and Management, and Dr. Kouras. Nick Easton. James Cameron Ferrier. Maxwell Hanna. Sergey Maluvo Kavenga. Abigail May Laban. Russell Nyman. Yerlan Mirzan. That concludes the presentation of the baccalaureate diplomas.
Will the bachelor's degree recipients please rise? I offer to you my personal congratulations and good wishes on behalf of the entire School of Mines family. You are now permitted to move the tassel on your mortarboard from the right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology undergraduate class of 2017. You may be seated. Will the candidates for Master of Science degree please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the South Dakota Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degree Master of Science with all of the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligations thereto appertaining, contingent upon the completion of all requirements.
Candidate for the degree Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Sinden, Dean of Graduate Education Dr. Mary Beth Price, and Dr. Kouras. Elizabeth Jensen. Candidates for the degree Master of Science in Chemical Engineering will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Winter, Dean Price, and Dr. Kouras. Balarama Krishna Reddy Kinsari. Derek Newberg. Candidates for the degree Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Kinner, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Amir Bayramovich. Samuel Lee Sorger. Candidate for the degree Master of Science in Computational Sciences and Robotics will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Riley, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Scott Sarda. Candidate for the degree Master of Science in Construction Engineering and Management will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Kinner, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Candace Atsidi Sinagini. Candidate for the degree Master of Science in Electrical Engineering will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Rajan, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Matthew Daniel. Candidates for the degree Master of Science in Engineering Management will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Wallstad, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Mohammed Ahmed Bafagi. Graham Erickson. Laddie Hickson III. Noelle Laura Kepler Gageby. Beverly Lalama Del Salto. Caleb Stewart Miller. Lee Christine Miller. Stephen L. Sabanya. Jared Desmond Thompson. Candidates for the degree Master of Science in Materials Engineering and Science will be congratulated by Program Coordinator Dr. John Keller, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Shushma Priyanka Karanam. Philip Romano. Candidates for the degree Master of Science in Mining Engineering and Management will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Roberts, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Cedric DeMassa. Jorge Francisco Robles Aranciba. Michael Kofi Chisby. Jameshu Turi. Candidate for the degree Master of Science in Paleontology will be congratulated by Department Head Dr. Anderson, Dean Price, and Dr. Kuris. Justin Wilkins. That concludes the presentation of the master's degree candidates. Please give them all one more big round of applause.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all of the rights, privileges, and honors, as well as the obligation and responsibilities thereto appertaining, contingent upon the completion of all requirements.
Candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Atmospheric and Environmental Science, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professor, Program Representative Dr. Adam French, Dean Price, and Dr. Kurus. Kevin Anthony Cooper. Dr. William Capehart, Major Professor for Kevin, was not able to be with us today, so Dr. Scott Kenner will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Kevin Cooper. Candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Engineering, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professors, Department Head Dr. Sinden, Dean Price, and Dr. Kurus. Kelsey Elise Murray. Dr. Linda DeVoe and Dr. Lisa Kunza, co-major professors for Kelsey, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Kelsey Murray. Candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Materials Engineering and Science, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professors, Program Coordinator Dr. Keller, Dean Price, and Dr. Kurus. Vivek Agarwal. Dr. Sadegh Safarzadeh, Major Professor for Vivek, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Vivek Agarwal. Rudresh Bamadihali Rajapagowda. Dr. Alvatina Spernova, Major Professor for Rudresh, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Rudresh Bomadahali Rajapagowda. Wade Lynn. Dr. Lance Roberts and Dr. William Cross, co-major professors for Wade, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Wade Lynn. Abu Mohammed Numan Al-Mobin. Dr. Smirnova, Major Professor for Abu, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Abu Mohammed Numan Al-Mobin. Candidate for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy and Mechanical Engineering, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professor, Department Head Dr. La Rochelle, Dean Price, and Dr. Curris. Ryan Hardy Kuntz. Dr. Dan Dolan, Major Professor for Ryan, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Ryan Hardy Kuntz. Candidates for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Nanoscience and Nanoengineering, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professors, Program Director Dr. Steve Smith, Dean Price, and Dr. Curris. Carrick Robert Dando. Dr. David Salem and Dr. William Cross, co-major professors for Carrick, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Carrick Dando. John Richard Fisher. Dr. Steve Smith, Major Professor for John, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. John Fisher. Shaw Jean Ma. Dr. Hao Fong, Major Professor for Shaw Jing, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Shajing Ma. Nan Chung. Dr. Phil Aaron Keel, Major Professor for Nan, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Nan Chung. Candidate for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy and Physics, please come forward to receive your diploma and hood and be congratulated by your major professor, Department Representative Dr. Luke Corwin, Dean Price, and Dr. Kouros. Daniel Gregory Redearth. Dr. Rafal Feldalski, major professor for Daniel, will assist with the hooding. I now present Dr. Daniel Redearth. This concludes the presentation of the doctoral degrees. Please give them one more round of applause.
The privilege of university president is the conferral of degrees on the students our faculty and staff have taught, mentored, and guided. If we have succeeded through the experiences you have had here, you have become a better version of yourself than you were on the day you arrived at Mines. From this day forward, you are marked men and women. You are alumni of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. Congratulations to all of you. The School of Mines has consistently been rated as one of the top schools in the country for veterans and military service members, and today we are honored to have 10 veterans receive their diplomas. We also have an active reserve officer training corps that prepares leaders in engineering and science who earn commissions as officers in the United States Army. Today, 2 graduates will receive both a Bachelor of Science degree and commission as second lieutenant in the United States Army. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Elvis Coronado, head of our Department of Military Science, will administer the oath of commissioning to Cadets Deckary Gaiman and Justin Gelling. Please rise.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Justin Taylor Gelling,
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
in the rank of second lieutenant,
in the rank of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You're good to go. Good luck.
As we close our ceremony, I want to thank the University Orchestra under the direction of Tammy Schnittgren, the 176th Commencement Committee, and others who contributed to make this event a success. We now request that you stand and remain standing until the colors have been retired and the academic recessional has been completed. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations to the class of 2017.
Permission to retire the colors.
Retire the colors.
Well, Dr. Armstrong, you should have